Trading futures and options on futures involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all traders and investors. Oftentimes in futures trading, you have a high combination of leverage and volatility. And although this could be an equation for opportunity, it's also an equation for risk. So be careful. Only fund your futures trading account with risk capital. My personal definition of risk capital is money I could afford to lose, doesn't change my lifestyle, or overly stress me out. As human beings, we make bad decisions when we're under stress, so be in a good spot. Remember, micro contracts could be friends. Take it easy on the day trade margins. You get plenty of leverage without maxing out on those day trade margins on a regular basis. We'll be taking a look at a real-time simulated live NinjaTrader trading platform today, and none of this should be construed as trade or investment advice. Past performance not indicative of future results. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to NinjaTrader Platforms Unleashed. My name is Jim Cagnino with NinjaTrader. It is September 11th, 2023. Happy Monday, everybody. We're going to talk about today creating a workspace, which is the first thing you're going to encounter when you're using the NinjaTrader PC-based, desktop-based trading platform. And we're going to go through the steps. It's really easy, it's intuitive, and it's fun. And let's get started. Appreciate everybody being here today. Let's take a look at my workspace right now. And this is the workspace that we're going to make one of these. We're going to make this workspace, and it has different components to it. It's very modular. And the great thing about the trading platform is it enables you to create a workspace or workspaces to suit your needs, whether you have a multi-monitor setup, a single monitor setup, you're on a laptop, maybe, I don't know, it doesn't matter. But there's a few components here. We're gonna recreate this, right? We have this control panel here. It's this rectangle in the top. That's kind of component number one. On the left-hand side, we have a trading ladder called the Superdome. This is the NinjaTrader Superdome. Underneath it, we have a series of charts, actually. This is where we do our technical analysis. And on the right-hand side, we have the market analyzer or the quote board. Now, I've already saved this as a workspace. I've been using this throughout the day from all the time. So, but we're going to do a new one. We're going to start over. And so I'm going to go to this, at the very top, there's the word there. It's called Workspaces, right? I'm going to click on that. And it's going to bring me down a drop-down menu. Once I click on the word Workspaces, the top menu of the control panel, and I'm going to move my mouse to the lower right. And you'll see a little button there that says New. I'm going to click that New button, and it's going to allow me to create a new workspace. Now, I have to name it first, right? So we're going to call this, I don't know, we'll call this Simple Start. It's the name of my new workspace. I'm going to hit OK. And it's going to give me a blank canvas, right? I can create whatever I want to create. Now, here's the control panel on the top. When you log in for the first time, and every time you log into the NinjaTrader software, the control panel shows up. It just pops up, and it gives you, there's all sorts of power associated with this. There's each one of these words up here is a drop-down menu that gives you many options as you go through your setup and your trading experience. At the bottom, there's a series of tabs that gives you additional information about your trading account. But this is the first thing you're going to see, right? You're going to see this, and you're going to be, once you're hooked up to your data feed, now you're ready to go ahead and start creating. I'm going to go to the New button. Notice this New button up here in the upper left. I'm going to click on that. It's going to give me a drop-down menu of all the new things I could do with my desktop. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to where I see Market Analyzer, because I want a quote board, right? I want to see all the markets. I want to see data on the markets. It's streaming real time. I'm going to click on Market Analyzer, and it's going to open up a Market Analyzer, and it's open. It's completely. It's going to start from scratch here on the Market Analyzer, and I'm going to quickly just start creating elements for the Market Analyzer. And most things NinjaTrader is when you right click on most windows in NinjaTrader, you get pop-up menus, right? It's very intuitive. Just right click your mouse, and you get these pop-up menus. And right away, at the very top, it says add an instrument. So we're going to add some instruments, right? Let's go ahead and do that. Now I have some presets that were already here. You could go down to the bottom and hit the search button and come up with more markets, and it'll just open up another dialog box, and you could type in symbols and names, and it's a smart search, and add quotes that way. So I just went ahead and added that one. That's the E-mini S&P. Let's keep going real quickly. I'll add a few of them here. We'll add the micro NASDAQ, which is already up there. I'm going to go ahead to my add instruments repeatedly. And I'll do this quickly. You guys are going to get the idea over time how I'm going to populate this market analyzer. It's called market analyzer for a reason, right? Yeah, it's a quote board, but it does an awful lot more than that. And we have a whole show dedicated to the market analyzer. Well, let's go ahead and add a fourth stock index future, right? Let's go ahead and add the Russell 2000 to this mix while we're at it. RTY, I believe, is the symbol. And I'm not going to add every single one that I look at, but I am going to add the ones that I'm interested in. Here's the RTY. I'm going to double click on that. So these are the stock index futures. Let's add, I don't know, let's add crude oil market. Here's a crude oil market right here. It's CL. Let's go ahead and add, I don't know, another market. Maybe we could add the 6E, which is the Euro FX versus the US dollar, and so on and so forth. Again, you can see how this becomes, how we could populate this. Now, let's add a couple more just so we could have more of a complete picture here. We'll add gold. I'm going to type in GC into my instrument list here. I'm going to look for gold futures. There it is. Double click and it gives me the front month already. Do the same thing for silver as an example. Let's go ahead and hit that search button really quickly for silver. I'll hit SI because I know that's the ticker symbol for silver. Or I could have typed in silver futures. Remember, this is a smart keyword-based search feature. Double click, we add silver. So now that I have some quotes up here, I want to kind of separate them to organize them a little bit better. And I'm going to right click up here again, and I'm going to look what my options are. I have a whole bunch of options. I'm going to add what's called a label row. I'm going to add a label row, and it's going to say, well, it's going to have the word label on it, but I'm going to double click on that label, and I'm going to type stock index futures. So I've created a label for that particular row. Hit enter. Now I want to do another one for, we added crude oil. So let's right click on crude oil and I'll add another label row. Excuse me one second, hit that label row, double click on the word label, and I'm going to type in, we'll type in energy futures, right? Energy futures. So now I have that kind of bifurcated a little bit as well. Now we have a currency in here. So again, right click, I'm going to go ahead and add another label row, double click, and we'll call currency futures. And in parentheses, I'm going to put Forex, right? These are Forex futures. That's pretty cool. Now we have metals. We got another category, right? So it's going to right click, and I'm going to go ahead and add the last label row, which is going to be metals, metal futures. And there's other ones as well. There's copper, there's platinum, there's all that stuff. So this is the start of the quote board, right? And if we have time at the end, I'll show you how to kind of color code it and make it your own, because there's a properties tab here as well. If you click on the actual bar at the top right next to Market Analyzer, if you click on that bar, or at the bottom gray bar as well, it's going to give you the opportunity. I'm sorry. It's going to give you at the bottom. I'm sorry. You click at the bottom. It's going to give you the opportunity to click on a properties tab. And then these are kind of general properties, right? You can notice like when the price changes, as an example, row changed, highlight background yellow. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that yellow. So I can go ahead and just make it transparent or white or something else and hit apply. And then that yellow will go away. And then we could also color code, label row for background, label row foreground. So background is always the background. Foreground is the color of the font. And so on the background right now we have it, I believe it's transparent. Let's just make it, I don't know, we'll make it light gray. We'll just make it light gray just so you can kind of get an idea of how the color coding works. So again, you could customize this to make it look however you'd like it to look, right? This is my first element. You could fill in all the quotes that you want, right? All the way down, all the way down the row. But we have a lot more work to do. So I'm going to move this over to the right-hand side of the screen. And this is where I'm going to put it. Now, again, it's personalized. It's modular. You could put it wherever you want to put it. But right now, I'm just going to put it over to the right-hand side. At the end of the setup, after the end of the workspace setup, when we're done, when we're happy with it, we're going to go ahead and save everything so that when I log in again, I don't have to go through all this again. It's right there, ready for me to go. All right, so the second thing I want to add, well, I'm going to go to the new button, and I'm going to say, you know what, I want a chart. We want a chart. This is kind of a, the cornerstone of technical analysis right here. I'm going to click on the word chart, and it's going to give me a dialog box. And it'll ask me, well, Jim, what kind of chart you want? And I'll go to the drop-down menu, and the same thing, right? This is the same kind of idea. I'm going to actually look for the symbol associated with whatever chart I wanted. or we can go to some of these subcategories that were here as well. And let's just go ahead and click on, click on the gold chart, the summer gold chart, double click on it. It's going to populate that. It's going to apply this particular market to the chart I'm about to show you. And then you can change all the parameters, right? Well, let's change it to, I don't know, let's change it to a minute chart, right? An intraday chart. And we'll make it a 10-minute chart or 15-minute or 30-minute, whatever you want to make that. And then all this other stuff here's how do I customize it, right? How many days back of data do I want? As an example, it's set at 5. Since this is the intraday chart, that's good enough for me right now. Chart style, candlestick, bar width is set at 3. I could change those as well as the colors of the candles and all of that stuff. So whatever works for you there is easily customizable right there on this dialog box. And you can get back to it really easily after you make the chart. So if you launch the chart from here and you're not happy with the colors or the layout or the information you're getting, you could always come back to this window and edit the chart. So let's go ahead and just click on this OK button. And it's going to open up the chart. There it is. It's it's a basic candle chart right here. There's nothing on it, right? There's no there's no indicators or any of that stuff on it just yet. Excuse me one second. Just had to clear my throat there. So let's make this a little bit more usable, right? So we have a 10-minute, and again, we have a whole series on how to change this chart and how to manipulate it and how to exploit all of its feature-rich options that you have here. But I'm just going to go ahead and add some indicators. This little button up here. Wow, excuse me again. That's something stuck in my throat. Apologize for that. Hang tight one more second. Try to break it free. So the indicator button, I'm going to click on the indicator button. Again, it's going to give me all of the available indicators on the upper left side to choose from. And I can scroll through them all and customize this however I want. Let's go ahead and add RSI. I'm going to double click RSI. It's going to go ahead and add it to the configured section at the bottom, right? I'm going to highlight it once it's in the configure section. And then again, I can customize it on the right-hand side in the properties part of the dialog box. It's a 14 period. This is kind of all textbook. I just pulled it out. I'm going to calculate this on every single tick that happens. This is real-time streaming data that I have. And then here's some visual options, some line color options, and all of that stuff. And notice here under visual, there's a word panel. This panel here, you could create, we're going to create a new panel, right? So it'll be below the actual Japanese candle portion of the chart, which will be the first panel. I'm going to hit apply at the lower right-hand side. I'm going to hit OK. I'm just going to apply the RSI at the bottom of the chart. Super, super easy. Let's go ahead and add, I don't know, let's add a couple other things on here. Let's go ahead and, I don't know, add Bollinger Bands. Let's go to, you could right click instead of clicking on this button up here to trigger the indicators. You can see you hover your mouse over these buttons here and it tells you what you're about to click on. I'm going to go ahead and click on you could either click on this indicator button or you could right click. Remember, very intuitive. You could right click, things open up. Pop-up menus open up with a whole bunch of options on here. And here's the indicators selection right here in the middle of the pop-up menu, similar to clicking on the button. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. It'll give me the same window. Same thing. Again, I'm going to scroll down until I find Bollinger Bands on here. There it is. There's Bollinger Bands. Double click, brings it down to the configured area. And again, you could change your parameters. I'm going to change this to on each tick where it says calculate on each tick. So it keeps up every piece of new data, keeps updating the calculation associated with the Bollinger Bands. A couple of real quick things I'm going to do here. I'm going to customize my line colors. I'm going to make it purple. I always make my Bollinger Bands purple. That's just my preference. So the top is purple. The lower band, I'm going to make purple also. And in the middle band, I'm going to make transparent. I don't like the middle band. I don't want to see the middle band. It doesn't help me with my trading. Some people have the opposite opinion, which is fine. But again, customization, personal preference. The transparent, I'm going to hit apply and I'm going to hit OK. So now we have, again, a 10-minute gold chart We have a Bollinger Band here as well. This is just one chart on my layout, right? I just have a one chart layout so far. Now we could make it a multiple chart layout if we'd like. It's really easy to do. At the bottom tab here, you'll see it says GC December 2023 for the gold contract, gold futures. I could right click on that and it'll give me a couple options. I could duplicate in a new tab, or I could duplicate in a new window. Let's go ahead and say new window. I'm going to click on duplicate on a new window, and it gives me another window. It opens up another window of a second chart. And so in this chart, I could change my time frame, or I could change the market itself using the upper left-hand controls. Let's go ahead and just add it, make this, I don't know, a 30-minute chart instead of a 10-minute chart. I'm going to click on that 30. So now I have two charts on my workstation, right? And I'm showing everything on one monitor, right? If you had multiple monitors, maybe you would have this on your other monitor. But because it's customizable and you could move the windows around any way you want, you could simply just click on the corner of any window and you could resize the shape of the window and the position of the window to create a multi-chart view on one pane, on one screen. So that's kind of what I'm doing right here. I know it deviates a little bit differently from my workspace that I showed you when we started today's show, but I just wanted to demonstrate it's a very powerful way to quickly and easily duplicate charts. And I would suggest you make one chart with all of the information that you would like to see on that one chart, whether it's Bollinger Bands, moving average crosses, RSI, order flow volume profile, volume weighted average price, and then make it the way you want it. And then when you right click to duplicate, you don't have to add all the indicators and all that stuff again, because it's going to duplicate whatever you have on your screen. So it's really super handy. All right, so we have the control panel. We have the market analyzer, which is like a quote board. We have one chart, which is gold, 10-minute. We have another chart, which is gold, 30-minute. Now, what goes in this spot on my workstation? Well, it's the NinjaTrader Superdome, which I'm a super fan of. So I'm going to go to the new button again. Remember, new launches, new stuff. I'm going to click on new, and I'm going to look for the NinjaTrader Superdome. And I have two versions. You might not have two versions. You could always get two different versions. They're very similar. There's the dynamic Superdome and the static Superdome. I'm going to click on the static. It doesn't matter which one. And then it'll open up a new the Superdome. And I'm going to kind of move it over to where I would like it to be positioned. And look at that. Well, I knew it was going to fit nicely because I set this up before we started. But now I have the trading ladder. The very bottom of the trading ladder, of course, I have to select an account. I'm going to go ahead and select one of my simulated live accounts. And there you have it. So not only, you're not limited to one Superdome. You're not limited to one chart. You're not limited to one market analyzer. You could add as many or as few of these as you would like to add. So let's recap here. We have all the regular components, right? The ability to place a trade with a single click on the actual Superdome, the ability to do our technical analysis with the chart. I see all the different markets moving around here in real time on my quote board. And then the upper top part, I have all of my account information all together. So I'm seeing everything on one screen. Now, in reality, I do have a multi-monitor setup, so I have other charts on other windows. I have news feeds and all of that stuff as well. Again, personal preference on how you want to set yourself up. So that's a quick kind of way to set up. Now, one trick I do want to kind of share with everybody, which I think is super cool, is the ability to link everything together on your workstations. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the market analyzer first, and you see this little button here. It says instrument link. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to pick a color, and I'm going to pick orange. So the market analyzer's instrument link is orange. And I'm going to do the same thing on my charts. I have two buttons here on the chart. So I have an instrument link and an interval link. I want to click on instrument link, and I'm going to match it to the orange that I already selected. Same thing with my other chart down here. I'm going to click once. I'm going to go orange. So now all three of these things are linked. Let's go over to the Superdome. Let's do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and click on the gray square there, and I'm going to click on orange. Everything is orange now. And why is that important? Well, let's say that I want to look at a different market. I just want to look at the Dow Jones. I'm going to go just click on the instrument in the market analyzer. And then what will happen is everything that's linked to that market analyzer will change to the Dow. So with a simple click of the mouse, I change my 10-minute, my 30-minute, and my trading ladder to the Dow. It was really that quick. So now I don't have to struggle with drop-down menus or moving new windows in and out. I'm just simply looking at another market, right? Just simply looking at another market with a simple click. Let's do it again. I'm going to go back to the market analyzer. I'll click on crude oil. Let's click on crude oil, and it'll change everything to crude oil. So now I have one chart. There's another chart with crude oil, and then there is the Superdome. So this is kind of a basic layout. And again, totally every window here you could adjust. Every view you could adjust. Let's add another element just for fun. Let's go ahead and hit the new button here. And I'm going to add a time and sales window. That's TNS. Click that TNS, and it'll give me a time and sales number. Again, I'm gonna tag it. I'm gonna link it orange, but it'll give me a time and sales. It'll go ahead and it'll catch up in a second. A time and sales window, which shows me time and sales for the particular market that I'm looking at. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shrink it and put it in the lower right. I've just expanded my analysis capability just like that. It's really, really easy. I'm going to open this up a little bit more. And so we added another element to the workspaces. So this is just one workspace, guys. I mean, this is one workspace. So I'm going to go back up to workspace here, and it's called Simple Start. And I'm going to save it, right? I'm going to save it. Just since it's the first time, I'm going to hit that save button. Now, when you're working with your trading platform and you're done for the day and you're happy with your layout, when you're done, don't close the Superdome or the chart number one or the chart number two or the market analyzer. What I do, it's really quick and easy. I click on the X of the control panel. You see where I put my mouse on the upper right-hand side of the control panel. I close the workspaces from here. I'll get a dialog box that says, Jim, do you sure you want to do it? You have two active orders. Do you really want to shut down? Yes or no? If I hit yes, it'll shut everything down. It'll close everything up. And then it'll be, when I log in the next time, it will log into exactly how I left it. So again, I don't have to do any extra work. It'll just show up exactly like this. I'm going to hit no for now, just so you know. All right. The other things you could do is toggle, right? So here's my workstations. I have all of these different types of workstations that I use, right? And so let's go ahead and, I don't know, toggle to top 5 indicators, which is the one we started with. I'm going to click on that, and it'll open it up just the way that I originally started with, right? The other one is closed. This workstation's opened up, and it's really, really simple. So again, total customized view. You might have one workspace associated with, I don't know, historical charts, just a daily, weekly, monthly. You want to do some analysis at night before, the New York session opens up. And you could just focus on that kind of workspace to create your bias and start doing your technical analysis. Or you could have a workspace just devoted toward a particular, the energy market or whatever it is. So you can be really creative in how you set up your workspaces and toggle back and forth between them, because it's really, really super easy to do that. Well, that's the basics. We pretty much covered the basics. It's really that easy. Remember, right click, menus open up in NinjaTrader. Customization, customize the windows however you like. Customize the views however you like. Close your whole workstation from the Control Panel X button so that when you log back in again, it memorizes it. I mean, as an example, if I were to close this Superdome right now and then it wouldn't be there, right? And then if I were to go ahead and close out of the software with the control panel, when I logged in again, that Superdome wouldn't have been here. So it's the last kind of picture standing that's the most important. All right, any last second questions, any comments or anything like that, throw them into the chat right now. I'd be happy to grab those. But this is really easy, creating your workspace. I know sometimes it might be a little intuitive intimidating, because all you'll see is that this initial setup is just that control panel. But once you realize you can start adding stuff through the new section here, and that everything is customizable by right clicking, and getting menus, even the market analyzer, right click, even the trading ladder, right click, and you could customize stuff. Once you realize that, you'll really be able to create master level chart layouts, trading workstation layouts, and hopefully that'll help you with your trading. All right. Well, I think we covered all our bases today. I appreciate everybody coming today. There's modules for there's NinjaTrader platform Unleashed events for everything you see here. So if you go to the archives, you'll be able to go ahead and look at those, like how to set up the market analyzer the way I have it, or this is my expanded I don't know, market analyzer on steroids, right? Where I have a whole bunch of color-coded stuff going on, including technical indicators associated with each market and all that stuff. So there's an event that we did on that. We did one on the charts. We did one on the trading ladder. So there's a whole bunch of good information out there to help you get started. Finally, I do want to leave this with everybody. If you have any questions, or you would like to learn how to do something, or you'd like to add an idea for a show or a presentation, send an email to learn, Learn, learn at NinjaTrader.com, and we'll be happy to go ahead and respond to that and get you all the information that you need. So again, before I log off, I do want to thank everybody for coming. Hopefully we will see you tomorrow at Traders Workspace with Tom Schneider, who is interviewing Andrew Horowitz on his show, on the Trader Workshop show. And then Wednesday, Dr. Gary Dayton, who is a trading psychologist, will be with me at See the Futures. Thursday, special See the Futures event with Tracy Stuchart is going to be with us on energy. She's an energy expert. We're going to be talking about the energy futures markets. And then Anthony Crudeli at Develop Your Edge on Thursday. So a lot of stuff happening this week. Hope to see you at all those events. In the meantime, appreciate everybody being here today. And remember, be safe out there. Be good to each other. Thank you.